Professor Bogart, once more, thank you for coming here in Russia, in Moscow, for our school in pediatric urology. And we'd like to ask you what most impressed you during your stay in Moscow.
Oh, thank you very much. This was my first visit to Moscow. I was welcomed very nicely, and we were able also to see a little bit from Moscow. Unfortunately in the rain, but it didn't matter. You have a really beautiful city. We saw the Red Square. We also saw the beautiful metros, where I think I was very impressed by. Everything is very clean, very well organized, and also our visit to the Bolshoi Theater was one of the highlights, I think, of my stay here in Moscow. So thank you very much for showing me that. You're
really welcome to our nice and beautiful city. And about the school, what kind of impression do you have? Do you think it's was doing this event? Do you think people are interested in lectures that we have and topics that we have chosen for the school? Were they interested for people?
I think we have seen it during the lively discussions that there is indeed interest from both sides. It was also nice to be challenged when people were asking me about what we think is maybe not so conventional treatments anymore. But it is, again, very nice to be able to talk, to discuss this. And we also like to talk about evidence-based medicine. I think also it was very interesting that we were here because we represent a little bit the European Society for Pediatric Urology. And we are really grateful that you have made us in contact with each other, because we can, sometimes I say we are quite rich in our minds, and why should we not share from each other this knowledge?
And what do you think about the future participation of ESPU in such Russian events, for example, next school or 1-2 years in advance?
I think it will be one of the missions of the ESPU also to have a good network, and indeed we might really collaborate in presence, in being present during your national meetings to give state-of-the-art lectures. I think also in addition to that, I have learned a lot of interesting studies, and it was also thanks to the very well organized simultaneous translation that I was able to follow and to interact and to make a good discussion after the talks of the Russian colleagues.
We also hope for the more and more strange collaboration between Russian pediatric urology and ESPU in the future. Thank you very much for coming and for your interest in our event. Thank you very much.
I'm looking forward.
Thank you.